What's up, everybody? Joe White here. Man, do I got a lot to talk about. Last night was really fun for me. Actually, this whole weekend, from Friday till now, has been awesome. We had a decent pay-per-view last night. One or two, really, really, really good matches. I mean, one of them was just, man. Anyway, um, but last night I went to see Weird Al Yankovic live in concert, the mandatory tour, the mandatory fun tour, I think he calls it the mandatory tour, was in Roanoke, Virginia last night, and I got tickets. I've had my tickets. It shows you how much of a fan of his I am. I've had these tickets since January when they went on sale. The day they went on sale, I went ahead and got mine. But I wanted to show you guys this. This is something I got here. You're going to hear my chair backing up, and I'm sorry. It's a loud noise here. But I got this last night at the merchandise table. And it says mandatory fun up at the top of it. Has old Weird Al there. And has his name down at the bottom. It's a very cool little flag. I plan on hanging that up behind me. Not quite sure how to go about doing that yet because I don't want to put holes in this. But yet the wall behind me is paneling, and I don't want to. It's a pain in the ass to get a thumbtack or anything through. So I may need to get some what they call 10-penny nails and put them up there. But they had this on sale last night with a bunch of other shirts. The shirts were overly expensive, of course, and only went up to a 2X. Not a good way to cater to your audience by not having bigger sizes. I'm a firm believer that if you're going to have, merchandise for sale, you need to include, even if you were charging $35 for it, you need to include some sort of big men merchandise. But that's just me. I could wear a 3X, but a 3X is still, I like loose-fitting clothes. This right here is a 3X, and to me, this is just too tight, even though it does fit. But yeah, I got this, and my girlfriend wanted a Weird Al mandatory fun keychain, so I got that for her. So I took a lot of pictures, which are up on my personal Facebook page. The camera on my phone is shitty, so the pictures aren't that good. But I had a lot of fun. The show was. The thing about Weird Al is that it's not your typical concert. It's not your typical 20,000 seat arena concert. It's more of like you're going to see a musical. He puts on a show for you. He entertains you. He does more than just sing and dance. He does costume changes. He does, cool stuff interacting with the crowd. Like the very first song he did was his cover of Pharrell's Happy. He does a song called Tacky. And if you've ever seen the music video for it, he does, I guess, just like what Pharrell did in his music video, where it's one continuous shot from the Warner Theater. I think it's the Warner Theater in Chicago, or in Los Angeles, where he starts in the back of the theater and goes around with the different celebrities to one continuous camera shot to, the end of the video. Well, for the concert, he started off with that song, and he started outside the Performing Arts Theater, the Berglund Center Performing Arts Theater there in Roanoke. He's up on the screen with the band playing the song, and he's outside the building, and he's singing the song, going through the backstage, interacting with the different security guards and stuff like that, and all of his people, and he's singing the song. Then all of a sudden he comes out through the crowd and up to the stage while singing, and it was just awesome. One continuous camera motion. It was a beautiful thing to see. He did a lot of costume changes, and in between the costume changes, you'd think that you'd be sitting there bored or something. No, they have a video up, so it feels like you're in they have a video showing different clips of things that Weird Al has done over the years. Like he was a Transformer. He did a spoof of My Little Ponies. Of course, he was on The Simpsons. The epic rap battle of history was shown. His little mock interviews that he did with people like Celine Dion and Eminem played. A lot of funny stuff was there. I laughed so hard last night. My throat's a little bit sore this morning because I knew the words to every fucking song that was played and sang along with every one of them. And it was like going to see a musical for me more than it was going to see like a rock concert or something. It was beautiful. I highly suggest that if you have an opportunity to go see Weird Al Yankovic live, you go see him. Um, he he ended the show with Amish Paradise, which he used to end the show with Fat, which he did Fat right in the middle of the show, which was awesome. Oh man, it was awesome. Um, but to see this man go through different costume changes, like at the beginning of the show, it was every other song was a different costume. I mean, he went from doing Tacky to First World Problems to doing Fat to doing all Foil to doing Perform This Way. He did all kinds of stuff, and every single one was a new costume. Um, he did a medley right in the middle of the show. He even did, he does an acoustic set right right in the like last part of the show. It's an acoustic set with him and his band, which is John Bermuda Schwartz on drums, Steve J and Jim West on guitar, and Ruben Valtierra on keyboards. Um, but it's all four of them sitting in a circle, and the lighting goes like dark with like purple lighting, the classic acoustic, intimate setting, and they got candles lit up, and they're just sitting there on stools performing, and Weird Al's got this like white frilly shirt on. It's just he cuts into Eat It, which is a version of Michael Jackson's Beat It acoustically. And then he goes and does I Lost on Jeopardy acoustically. And then he goes into Like a Surgeon acoustically. It was so great. Um, but he ends the normal show with Amish Paradise, which is freaking awesome. They even have shirts with the horse and buggy that say Amish Paradise and with a reaper, in the background, or a sickle in the background. Um, And then, his encore. It's funny, after he does Amish Paradise, he does the whole James Brown thing, and the old man who holds the harmonica for him during Ode to a Superhero, which is a song about Spider-Man based off of Piano Man by Billy Joel. Um, he does the whole I can't go on. And the old man's out there wearing like a 1950s, 60s style waiter's jacket, tuxedo jacket, and he's covering Weird Al with the robe, and they're doing their little shuffle off to the back, and then all of a sudden Weird Al breaks from it. Hey, y'all want more? I thought I already told you. I can't give you no more. I can't go on. I can't go on. He does a little shuffle to the back, and the crowd starts chanting for Al, and all of a sudden Ruben Valtierra comes out with the dark robe on and starts, doing a little bit with the keyboards, and all of a sudden he starts playing the Imperial March. And I never seen anybody dressed up as a stormtrooper live before, surprisingly. I've never been to Disney and seen it. I've never been to any cons and seen it, because I've never been to a convention, period. Because A, I don't want to go by myself, and B, nobody else will probably go with me. Um, but I would like to, if anybody wants to invite me. Um, but he starts playing the Imperial March, and out come Boba Fett leading, well, a guy dressed as Boba Fett, but it was Boba Fett and about 6 stormtroopers and Darth Vader himself. And then behind them all is a full-on, at least 3-foot high statue, or a 3-foot high working R2-D2 follows behind him on stage. And he plays The Saga Begins, which is his version of American Pie by Don McLean. Only it's Star Wars themed. It's about Episode 1. So he plays that. And then after that, the Imperial March plays, and the guys walk off stage, and he plays his song Yoda, and does the whole in the middle of it. If you look up Weird Al Yoda chant on YouTube, phenomenal stuff, weird, wacky, fun stuff. He did that, and that was the show. He did that to close out the show. Pretty much, he did Yoda. Just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think that, every song that I wanted to hear live, he either did it or he did it in his medley, or there was mention of it on the video screen, like the sports song that he did in his last album. You didn't really need to hear him perform that live. I didn't want to hear him perform it live, so he aired a clip of the music video. Um, he the man knows how to entertain people. I know that oh, you listen to Weird Al, you're some kind of nerd. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Sorry. I like Weird Al. Weird Al is probably one of my favorite musicians of all time. He's right underneath AC/DC in my book, and AC/DC is my favorite. But it's like a check off my bucket list to go see this man live. Got some band merch out of it, so it was a good night. I had a lot of fun. My girlfriend had a lot of fun there. Um, I I hope he doesn't stop touring. I mean, I know he's going to stop for a couple of years after this one because the man's 56 years old. I mean, the dude, he doesn't look like it, but he was born in 1949. So he's 56 years old, and I think that... What is that weird lighting thing? What is my camera doing? I don't know. Anyway, I hope he doesn't stop touring. I hope he comes back, because if he does come back, I want to see him again. But yeah, if you ever have a chance to go check him out, go ahead and check him out. Money in the Bank was last night as well. I watched like the Money in the Bank match itself, the opening match, which it was okay. Didn't agree with the winner. I don't think why Sheamus. I don't know. I could get Roman Reigns being screwed again, but I don't know. I don't get that one, because people aren't getting behind Sheamus, especially with that look he's got going on. They're not chanting it because it's unique and everything. Everybody's like, oh, it's unique, he looks better. No, they're chanting it because he legitimately looks fucking stupid, and they're not going to get behind it. That's not heel heat, guys. It's not heel heat for him, and it's not heel heat for that look. It's called, you look fucking stupid, you need a better look. Anyway, and a lot of people are going, well, he looks unique. No, he doesn't. He looks fucking stupid. There's a difference. Sorry. The women's match was interesting to me because Paige did the whole talk of, oh, let's change the Divas division, and we want to bring change to it. Meanwhile, you got the same women down, well, not the same women, but you got women down in NXT who are changing the way the business itself looks at pro wrestling. And there are other groups out there like Queens of Combat and Valkyrie up in New York, and Shine and Shimmer, that are doing the same thing, but none of them, let's face it, prominently WWE is where it's at. And WWE, if WWE adapts to what all the others are doing, then it's going to be, WWE will always be the standard. Sorry, it's just the way it is in the business. Paige was a lot more aggressive in this match. I think she got a little bit more aggressive, and then of course they did the whole twin magic thing, which, ref, come on. You could tell just by their hair that they look different. It doesn't work. They look and her stuffing her bra. Come on, ref. And I know everybody goes, well, that's the referee. That's the gimmick of the referee. No. Sorry, that doesn't mean you got to throw all logic out the window. One's brown, one's black haired. Come on. They're twins, but they don't, nothing like, in my opinion. Sorry, they don't. And so they screwed Paige out of the belt again. So you have to sit there and wonder, what are they going to do to give Paige another shot at Battleground? And if it were me, I would do the whole bit of, sorry. This episode is brought to you by Bubba Cola. Anyway, if it were me, I'd do the whole, they would probably never do this again, because it's WWE, but if it were me booking, I'd go back to the old Crockett days where you take, and WWE's done this before. I think they did it with Chyna back in 1998. You do the whole bit where you put Brie in a cage and hang her from the ceiling to where she can't interfere. But anyway, or lock her backstage, or put her in a cage at ringside even, to where she can't interfere. There's got to be some way that they can make it to where neither of them, they can't do the twin magic thing again. Like have more than one ref or position refs around ringside or something like that. Um, John Cena and Kevin Owens, I mean, mind blowing. Better than their first match, in my opinion. These two guys, you know, they talk about Cena, bringing out the best in everybody. Kevin Owens brings out the best in John Cena, and I'm not a huge John Cena fan. Last night, I was honestly rooting for Kevin Owens to win, but I knew Cena was wanting to get his win back, because that's the way WWE sees things. If Cena doesn't get his win back, then he's just demolished. Heaven forbid we should have a lose on two different pay-per-views, or two pay-per-views in a row. But anyway, I honestly thought there were a couple times in that match where I was just like, oh fuck, Owens has it. Here it is. Owens didn't, Owens got the pop-up powerbomb off and kicked out of it. He kicked out of two FUs, and then they did the bit where Cena finally does his Superman finish and gets the win, which pisses me off when they do that. Sorry, it just doesn't look good to have a man get beaten and beaten and beaten, and all of a sudden in 2 seconds he got it. It just doesn't. It's stupid over and over and over again, the same thing. But the match was really good. The aftermath was really good. Corey Graves, I don't know whether he was told this in his headset or not, but at the end of the match, or after they did the women's match, I think it was, or whatever, after they did it was the tag match, they went back up to the kickoff panel, and Corey Graves said it best. He goes, that match was good, but who are we in? And Owens may have lost, but we're still talking about him. The highlight of the match, the highlight of the night was still Kevin Owens. And that's very true. I like that match. I want to go back and watch that match again. I want to go back and watch the match from Elimination Chamber and then go back and watch the other one back to back. They were that good. And you can't compare the two. They were equally as great, I think. I kind of like the second one better because it told more of a story. With the passing of Dusty Rhodes, everybody's like, well, Dusty was the master of storytelling. Dusty could suck you in. These two guys, man, with the build-up leading to this, and then the match itself, they sucked you in, and they told a story in that match. And even after the match, with Owens doing the whole power bomb on the ring apron bit, was phenomenal, And him doing that damn BM, he did it better. The fucking jump from the second rope, spinning around on the top rope and doing the moonsault, the BME, I think it is. Christopher Daniels does a version of that, but I think he stays on the top rope. He doesn't go from second rope to top rope spinning and then jump off and do the moonsault, which, for a big motherfucker, Owens can fucking fly, guys, and he does it well. That right there popped me. I was like, that's it, I'm done. Just take it home. That's it. You can't do anything more to top that, but the thing is they did. They told that story, and they had us going up and down like a freaking yo-yo that whole damn match. It was awesome. Very well done by both guys. I'll give Cena his props for this one, for these last two. When you put him in there, he can tell a fucking story when he wants to. And when somebody sits there and is stiff with him and makes his ass work like a Kevin Owens or a Chris Jericho, or a fucking Undertaker back when Cena used to work Undertaker. They can bring out the best in John Cena, and they can make his ass fucking work and not be lazy. He's lazy in the ring, guys. Sorry, that's just my opinion. He's fucking lazy. But yeah, then they had the World Heavyweight title match, which was... I want to say it was mostly a squash match with only thing good about it was that you had the dirty deeds done on the announce table, which did not break. God, I hate when that happens. Sorry, I know you can't control it because it's a fucking table, but golly, when it doesn't look good when it breaks, or when it doesn't break. This match was just like kind of bewildering to me. I think it told a good story, but at the same time, it was just like, really? Does can't Rollins get in, or Dean Ambrose get in a little bit of offense? Why does he have to be like the Mick Foley of the whole thing, where you keep beating me down, and finally I just keep getting back up? I don't, I want to see Ambrose mount some kind of offense, and he really didn't get much off in this match. The the power bombs into the railing, where he just sit there and just threw his ass into the railing, were brutal looking. They sounded brutal. They looked brutal. I was very, 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 impressed with that. Um, and where does Rollins go from here? Because he's beaten Ambrose twice. Once clean. He's beaten his ass clean now. Nobody could say anything else. And it's just curious to see where he goes, because you had Triple H come out and raise his hand. It's going to be interesting to see if they go ahead and let Kane have a shot at him, because that's been building up for months now, or have they gone on and cooled that off and said, no, we really don't want that. Going to be interesting to see where they go. The tribute to Dusty Rhodes I thought was great. Vince McMahon dancing along a little bit with the music, with the Common Man music was good. The video that they aired halfway through the show about Dusty, the tribute video, was awesome. Very well put together, as always, by WWE. They're going to probably do the same thing again on Raw for him, and then they're going to air that special after Raw on the network, which is going to be awesome to see and watch. As far as where the landscape of WWE goes now, they've already announced Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns at Battleground, which I'm glad they're keeping him away from the title picture, because my biggest fear was, oh shit, the Royal Rumble win backfired on them. So they're really still behind this guy, even though the crowd doesn't want to see it. So they're fucking still going to be behind this guy, and they're still going to push him. Instead of having him win the Rumble, now he's going to do the next best thing and win the damn briefcase, and he'll cash it in at the end of the night. My theory was that if he won, he was going to cash it in on Ambrose, and Ambrose would have won the belt, but they didn't do that. To me, Money in the Bank should always be like the King of the Ring was back in the day. You have that right in the middle of the year, and that is your chance to take somebody from the mid-card and take it from here to here. Look at what it did for Seth Rollins. And I think, to me, granted, it didn't always happen with the King of the Ring, because you had Billy Gunn and Ken Shamrock win it, and neither of them really went anywhere. But, you had people like an Edge, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Brock Lesnar. They all went to the top. But to me, that Money in the Bank should be about giving somebody a chance to show themselves and prove themselves, saying, hey, this is a guy to keep your eye on for the next year, because he's going to win your belt out of nowhere. And it takes them from here to here. It makes them, it's about making new stars while you're still milking the shit out of the old ones. So, honestly, I don't see why they would put Sheamus in that position. To me, your Money in the Bank match shouldn't be full of guys who have already won the belt anyway. It should be full of it should be full of guys who are from the mid-card. And one of them is going to get elevated, like the King of the Ring was. King of the Ring never really had main event guys in it. But anyway, if it were me booking and I was going to make somebody new, I would have put Neville in there and elevated Neville up. But that's never going to happen, and we know that. Anyway, the Raw is tonight. As I'm recording this, between tonight and tomorrow, I plan on having. E3 did kick off last night, so probably either Tuesday, I'll do a review of Raw. Maybe hold off on it till Wednesday when E3, everything calms down from Tuesday's press conferences at E3. From what I hear, Bethesda knocked it out of the park with their Doom trailer and with their Fallout 4 stuff. We get a little mini online, or not online, we get a multiplayer fucking iOS Android app from them. Oh, because we gotta milk the damn mobile market at the same time. I don't get it. Nobody's gonna play your fucking game. We all know my thoughts on mobile gaming. I'm not gonna go into that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Comment, like, subscribe. Visit the website for more details. Like us on Facebook, and then, as always, we will see you down the road.